Hello, I hope you had a good week. We're on week 2 now, and this is looking at the opportunities and challenges of different learning environments. So I'm assuming by the different learning environments, we're looking at the 4 overarching ideas of blended learning. So within blended learning, I think that the biggest opportunity for any student and teacher, in that for that matter, any learner, is that and I've taken this directly from the text. One critical part of blending learning is that it involves some element of student control of time, place, path, and/or pace. And by having this element for students, for learners, it means that they can take control of their learning, and I think that helps students to be far more motivated to learn when they feel they're in the driver's seat and they can control things to a certain extent. I like personalised learning as well because it takes the pressure off, of how good are you compared to someone else, or worrying about other people's learning in the classroom. So if we can manage to keep it self-paced and students choose what they learn, it means that they try to improve themselves and always be better than they were the last time they did something. And I think that's a massive, massive opportunity for students to develop. I like the idea that if you are, with blended learning, if you're in a geographically isolated area, like we are, and we're also economically isolated as well and in a bit of need, I like the idea that I have an expert, and so does a student or a learner. Anywhere they are, they need some help. You don't necessarily have to call me. Most self-paced learning environments will actually give a tutorial or some sort of help, and to be able to go and look for knowledge themselves look for help themselves without needing me, I think is a great thing. So what else? The challenges of blended learning are: number one, cost. We use the ALEC system, and for us, we were lucky that our district got a grant so that we had a certain number of licenses, but it is cost prohibitive for us to continue with that unless we have the grant. I think that tech difficulties are probably the biggest time waster in my classroom. Children get to a point where it freezes, or it won't go to number 3, or it keeps giving them number 2, or that sort of thing that we have to sort out. So it's okay if I'm there, that I can help them. So if we had more of a flex model, then I would be there to help with any face-to-face difficulties, but students can move individually through what they would like to do. But that is a challenge, the tech difficulties. And the other problem is I love the idea that, it's any time, any place, but unfortunately a lot of our students don't have internet access at home. And although we do have some hotspots fairly close, because we're at an elementary school, independently for those children to reach those hotspots is difficult, and sometimes parents aren't very keen on that as well. So they are some of the opportunities and challenges that I laid out. I think in an ideal world, I would prefer, for me, the flex model, and I've started to try and do that. So I've started putting little videos, the teaching part of the class, online, so that if I have some students who do have internet access and are keen to get stuff done, so they might watch the video before, and sometimes now, we've done it only a couple of times, but we're starting, we get, step by step. They come into school and they're okay and they know what to do, and off they go. So they don't need me, and then that means that the number of students I need to work with is smaller and they can get more attention. So I like the flex model. That's perhaps my favourite. But I also use the station rotation model a lot. So we'll have different rotations, and one of them I'm trying to make sure is always an online learning style. So there's my comments for this week. I look forward to hearing all of yours. Cheers.